Greetings, everyone. This is A Shot of Whiskey, and I have an article. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I think I have yet to do one for BitChute or MGTOW TV, which, of course, knowing my luck means that one of the two, maybe even both, are going to have a hard time with downloading this video for some reason. Anyways, this article comes from a feminist website called Evie Magazine. And this is written by Ellie Holt. Well, I should take this back. I'm not quite sure if saying that it is a feminist website is entirely accurate, but it is definitely for women. Anyways, by Ellie Holt, posted on September 26th. So, like what, 3 weeks ago, something like that? Do women like to fix men? Interesting title. Oh, and it's not done. The rest of the title is, and is this really a bad thing? To answer your questions, Ellie, yes and yes. But here's kind of the fun thing. She's not wrong with a lot of stuff. I mean, yeah, she's way the hell off with some things, but she's pretty spot on with some things. So I'm going to read basically like the first few paragraphs and lightly touch up on 3 points that she made. Well, not 3 points. 3 reasons why women do this stuff. Just a couple of points within them. So, I mean, hopefully that'll make a lot more sense as I read. Sorry, I'm tired as fuck, but I still wanted to get this out here for you guys. We've all heard the saying that women like fixing men, or that a woman shouldn't try to fix a man. It's often meant in some sort of, in sort of a glib context, or as a critique of female dating. Well, everything deserves to be critiqued, honestly. Something women ought not to do. It's often recognized as a toxic trait, yeah, or as disempowering to women. I'm not quite sure how with that last one, but it is definitely a toxic trait with women. But in many ways, this is an oversimplified idea that we often take for granted without further scrutiny. Women seek to fix men for a number of reasons, some of which, I would say most, are problematic, and others merely reveal an inherent feminine desire to bring out the best. I don't agree with the wording of that. I get why she says that. In fact, it's one of the things I'm going to be reading here in a little bit. And those, I agree with some of it. But all in all, a feminine desire to bring out the best, no. It's more accurate to say the feminine desire to bring out what they want. First off, do women actually like to fix men? If we take a look at pop culture and media, this is a trope. Now, I'm going to pause here. I do not consider this to be a trope because this is based off of truth, which actually makes it a stereotype. A trope is more like something that you see as like a common theme with stuff. Like, perfect example in the anime world. A trope is where you see like a high school student, usually a high school girl, but not always, running out of the house like a madman with a piece of toast, dangling from their mouth like this, and there's jelly right there, and they're running like crazy. I gotta get to school. That's a trope. This is a stereotype. Big difference, but she loves to use the term trope. I don't know why. Maybe because it's a little bit shorter than stereotype, or maybe because it makes women sound better. I don't know. It's essentially the gist of every romance book on the market, because romance books are meant to cater to a woman's desires, and that includes fixing a man. Think about your favorite romance series. Favorite romance stories. Many of them contain this trope in a variety of forms, from bad boys like Edward Cullen in Twilight. I would not say he's a bad boy. I would say he's a fairy mosquito. Or mosquito fairy. Yeah, mosquito fairy. I like that better. And Hardin Scott and After. To classics like Gone with the Wind, Rebecca, and Wuthering Heights. The trope of women fixing men is an age-old classic because it's a stereotype based on truth. And this is probably because it bears a kernel of truth. It's a pretty damn big kernel. Women like to fix men, or at least they like the idea of it. There recently came out a remake of a 90s rom-com classic, She's All That, retitled for the modern audience, He's All That, in which a pretty popular high school girl attempts to fix a nerdy, awkward teen boy and relinquish him from the shackles of his own uncoolness to find the hunk beneath. I'm going to skip the rest to the three reasons why women do this crap. And I'm going to read some of the context within it. Now, if you guys want to read the whole thing, obviously I'm going to leave a link to this article down below. I try to do that whenever I can because I'm not an asshole. I could be a dick, but I'm not an asshole. Number 1, changing a man for your own gain. Women have a natural inclination to improve. Remember that line, feminine desire to bring out the best? I think both of these lines are a little bit bunk. But here's where I agree with. To nurture and to beautify their surroundings. Both of those, yeah, those are very womanly traits. In some sense, there's a biological explanation. I'm going to say 3 words that are in here. Ellie Holt wrote these, not me. These are not my words. Ellie wrote these. Women are hypergamous. Good job, Ellie. And are therefore looking for the best mate they can find. And if they have to do some remodeling to get the best mate, then so be it. The thing about that, though, Ellie, is a lot of women nowadays, they don't fix the man. They ditch him for what they think is better. Skipping a little bit. And yet, this is definitely something I agree with her on. And yet, trying to change a man to better suit your vision of how he ought to be is not only selfish, but manipulative. Yeah, no kidding. And as the heroine in He's All That learns, this is not a good foundation on which to build a healthy relationship. Number 2, fixing the damaged or broken man. This trope makes for a great romance novel, but real life, again, her words, not mine. Though I agree. I'm going to skip down to the last part, which I think is the end. Yeah, the end of part 2. While this trope gets a bad rap, it comes with mostly good intentions. Does it, though? Albeit naive ones. And yet it's important to recognize that women are not rehabilitation centers for broken men. No kidding. It's not our job to fix men. Unless it is. Like if you're a therapist or a doctor or something like that. But then again, if that's the case, why are you dating your patient? But aside from those rare situations, she is right. Just like how it's not our job to fix a broken woman. Likewise, it's not enough to merely like the idea of someone. We must like them for who they really are. Wow, what a concept. Falling for someone due to past trauma and how we think we can fix them isn't real love. And it's not stable ground for a healthy relationship. I like her. Not enough to hook up with her, but I like her. She's got a pretty damn good head on her shoulders, for the most part. Number 3, reining in the bad boy. Who doesn't love the idea of dating a bad boy? An experienced woman. Camila Cabello put it best when she sang A Little Bit Older, A Black Leather Jacket, A Bad Reputation, Insatiable Habits. But as Taylor Swift famously sang, I knew you were trouble when you walked in. Well, that's a bit of reference to Biden. And so the story goes, women love the danger, the thrill of dating a bad boy. There's something truly irresistibly exciting about being with a man cloaked in a layer of darkness. Someone who is unpredictable, even if that unpredictability means we might get hurt in the end. Which makes no bloody sense. Skipping down a little bit, women often have a chosen one, I'm sorry, you can't see the quotation marks, chosen one mentality in which they're looking to be chosen, to be scoped out in a crowd, to be picked out of a sea of other desirable women. Sounds kind of like Oh, what was that movie? Was it? I think I may be thinking of Dirty Dancing, actually. In fact, actually, I think they mentioned this, don't they? No, whatever. Who cares? It's meaningless to a woman to be chosen by a man who doesn't have other options. Exactly. It's feminine nature to want a man who's desired by other women, because it means he's got shit. Rather, she retains status by being chosen out of a pool of other qualified candidates. Yes. This actually reminds me of my favorite Jewish holiday, which is Purim, which, for those of you guys who don't know the story, part of it involves the main character, Esther, becoming queen because she wins a beauty pageant. Now, granted, the one and only judge is the king, but that's how she gets it, basically. She wins a beauty pageant. But that's the female mindset, because that's how humanity has evolved over the centuries and millennia. In conclusion, last point. So is fixing men a bad thing? Not necessarily. There's nothing inherently wrong with wanting to fix things. But at the same time, depending on what you're trying to fix, why the hell are you even in that relationship? It's important for women to embrace the benefits of a feminine desire to cultivate, nurture, beautify, and improve, while also acknowledging the pitfalls and detriments as well. In many cases, the desire to fix comes from a woman's natural inclination to prove herself and her feminine virtues. That actually does make a lot of sense. But unchecked, and with the wrong intentions, which a lot of women nowadays have, it can quickly dissolve into nagging and signaling that you don't actually like someone for who they are. Oh my gosh, I want to buy this woman a drink. Don't worry, I won't. I'm not stupid. Men aren't cars to be taken into the shop for annual repairs, and they shouldn't be treated as such. It's also easy for women to become prideful when it comes to fixing men, in which they believe that they, and perhaps they alone, know what's best for someone else. And it's their duty to step in and make changes. I'm going to go ahead and skip to this last, highlighted part. It's also important for us as women to work on fixing ourselves before we leap in and try to fix someone else. Boom, mic drop. Fix yourself first. Absolutely, fix yourself first. If not, why the fuck are you in a relationship? Shouldn't be that hard, but apparently that is a very, very difficult concept for some people. And I am saying people because a lot of guys are guilty of that type of shit too. If you're not a decent person first, if you still have a shit ton of problems, why bring other people into it? You're an asshole. Anyways, I'm tired. I was honestly hoping to keep this video to less than 10 minutes, but I ain't doing so well. Alright, everyone, have a going out there, and remember, if you abuse alcohol, it will abuse you back. That's a damn promise.